Hi and welcome everybody. It's Kirsty Bortoft here, your mindset coach, meditation teacher, and the founder of the FreedomAlignment method. This evening, I'm going to chat to you about moving from self-doubt to self-worth in 5 steps. So can you imagine that if in the next 10 minutes you could have some tools to be able to combat that negative self-doubt that is so incredibly crippling when it takes over us and makes us feel like we are worthless? Well, stay tuned, because I am going to give you 5 really cool, straightforward tips in the next 10 minutes of how you can implement them today to help you deal with any self-doubt. Now, if you stay to the end, I've got a magical little treat to share with you too, all about something else that you can involve yourself with, which will help you on your path of discovery. So do stay to the end for that. But let's dive in from self-doubt into self-worth, and let's check out how you can start this evening by changing your relationship to the dreaded self-doubt. So first of all, what is self-doubt? Well, we all know it, don't we? It's our little voice. So this is Lola, by the way, my dog. She's got no self-doubt. She's completely cool. And it's that little voice that's in our head that kind of is always giving us that chitter-chatter. You know, that kind of running commentary that like, oh, you better not do that because like, you might mess it up, or you can't try that because people will laugh at you, or who do you think you are? Or, oh God, I remember I tried that before and it didn't go very well, so best not do it again. And so we kind of limit ourselves, don't we, into becoming a better version of ourselves because we buy into that dreaded little voice that sat on our shoulders that seems to continuously want to give us a running commentary. Hi, Stu. Good to see you on this evening. Okay, so self-doubt is crippling. It's exhausting, and actually, it's not necessarily true. But because we've thought it before, sometimes it can feel so real that we just keep on buying back into it, believing that's who we are. And actually, if you look back at your life and you think about some of the things that you haven't done, you'll probably recognize that you haven't done them for no more of the reason than the fact that your voice in your head has said that you can't. Now, a study was done with people that were who had grown to a fine old age, but were on the last moments or last part of their life, and they were interviewed, and they interviewed 1,000 people and asked them what were their biggest regrets. And the biggest regret for humans, okay, is not doing something because they talked themselves out of it. So we need to get rid of this self-doubt tonight and make sure that's not you, and that you, after this lockdown finishes and you come out the other end, that you are implementing and doing things without filtering it through that little voice. So how do we go about dealing with the dreaded self-doubt? Okay, 5 healthy nuggets that I want to share with you right now. And the first one is, and it might seem really obvious, I don't know, but it is positive affirmation. Now, what is an affirmation? Affirmation is to affirm something positive. And what that means is it's about redirecting your focus onto something that is upward spiraling. Now, it may be, let's say, you've been set a challenge to do something new, and instantly what comes up in your experience is a wave of emotion and maybe a dialogue of, oh, I might make a mistake. I don't have enough tools to do that. I'm not educated enough. I'm not pretty enough, I'm not slim enough, I'm just not enough, okay? So some sort of self-doubt kicks in. A positive affirmation would be, whether you have all the skills yet or whether you have all the tools right now, is about just setting yourself to be a winner before you've even started. So it's by putting a statement into your subconscious through focusing on something as though it's already happened. For example, let's say you've been asked to do a talk, okay, and that's not what you generally do. You're not a public speaker, and I think public speaking is something like 2nd or 3rd on the list of the most scariest things or most stressful things that people go through. I think over and above death and divorce, so it's quite high and up there. So you're asked to do a talk, it's not your usual thing, it's not what you usually do, and so instantly you get this wave of dread. Oh my God, people are going to be watching me. People are going to be judging me. People are going to be thinking I'm crazy. And so you instantly go to that self-doubt and that inner dialogue. What you can do is, prior to having this, and it might not be as dramatic as being public speaking, it could be something much simpler and smaller that you're asked to do that still gives you the dreads. You just put your attention into a positive state as though it's already happened. So if it was public speaking, it might be something like, I'm an amazing public speaker and people love listening to me. Now, every part of your body might be going, but that's not true. I don't believe that. Well, guess what? I've got some good news for you. The good news is that your subconscious mind, that large part that makes you up, 95% actually of your mind, has no Scooby-Doo clue what's real and what's not. It does not have a judgment. So it doesn't know that you're really scared to be a public speaker or whatever it might be. It just listens to what you say. So if you keep repeating something positively about yourself, by the way, must be in the present tense as though it's already happened. So I am, not I'm going to be, or I could be, because that's no good, because the subconscious mind will just think it's going to be something at another point. If you focus on I am, then that's already happening right now. So I am an amazing public speaker and people love listening to me. Let's say that was your positive affirmation. Then that's very current, it's very positive, it's very present. And the subconscious mind doesn't know that that's not true. So you keep focusing on that. And studies have been shown that when we focus on things that are upward spiraling and are supportive of us, that it actually decreases our cortisol and stress levels. So it actually has an effect on our health by just choosing to put your attention on something positive, even though it may not have happened yet. And what happens is you have a 33% increase of confidence when it actually comes to taking that first step forward towards maybe working towards being a public speaker or whatever it might be, because you've already aligned yourself from the inside out. So positive affirmations are absolutely key to you working with your self-worth, okay? And overcoming any niggly bits that might stop you in your tracks from doing stuff. Don't ever let that be you, that you're that person at the end of your life that looks back and goes, oh, my biggest regret is I didn't do it because I listened to this. Don't do it, please. So positive affirmations, number 1. Number 2 is acknowledge the things that you are good at. Oh my goodness, right? I see this all the time. If I ask somebody what's wrong in their life or what they're not good at, they can like reel it off really super fast. And it just has no problem to do. And then I go, right, Katie, tell me what you're amazing at. It's like people stop in their tracks and go, and have to really think about it. And that just shows us how much of our attention is always on what we think we're not rather than what we are. You know, you're a unique blueprint and you're freaking amazing exactly the way you are. There may be things that you're wanting to work on. There may be things you want to like conquer. There may be things you want to get better at. That's okay. But you are already an incredible, unique blueprint. And you need to own that. You need to own it, be it, and show it. And so start by just maybe spending a couple of minutes this evening, writing in your phone or on a list of paper or whatever it might be, just focusing, for a couple of minutes, what you're actually really good at. And what you'll find is you're good at not just one thing, but a number of things. Now, don't be hard on yourself. Make sure that you're really cool and you look at all different areas of your life, from parenting to maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're none of that, but you're really good at listening, or maybe you're brilliant at baking or cooking. That's not me. Anyway, so look at the things that you're really good at and just be really honest with yourself and just dive into it. Get really aligned with stuff that you're good at and it will make you feel better. Step 3. Okay. Step 3 is celebrate the small wins. Oh, do you know, so I was talking to a client the other day and we were talking about weight loss and about the journey of weight loss. And this particular client had a bit of a journey to take and she wanted to shift a few dress sizes. And we were just talking about the fact that, okay, so that might take however long to do, but let's not go as far into the future as that. Let's just look at the next kind of first jump. And it's interesting that when we start to celebrate the small steps, what happens is we the small steps add up, and eventually we look back and we go, oh my goodness, look how far I have come. So I think that what we have to start doing is looking back at what we've already achieved and look at the things that you have. God, the things that you've already done, maybe just since lockdown. And your mind instantly, when I say that, is probably going to look at the things you haven't done. And I don't want you to go there. I want you to look at the things you have done. Maybe it's that you've got to spend more time with your family. Maybe you want to celebrate the fact that you've decided to, I don't know, we're doing a crazy juice diet, or not diet, sorry, challenge at the moment. And we're on day one, some of my clients now. And it's only day one, but we've had such a giggle with it today, like filming some Facebook lives on how to make these juices. And you know what? We're only in day one. We're not even 24 hours in, but it is a celebration. You know, we've only juiced and there's a gang of us doing it and it's great fun. And it's like, that's the sort of focus you want. It's the little tiny wins and remembering like, wow, look how great I am at doing this. So number 3 is focus on the small wins. It's so important. Number 4, right, this is really important, okay? Start to accept compliments. Now, how many of us are really rubbish at accepting compliments of people? And you know what? That used to be me too. Until someone said to me, Kirsty, do you know that like when someone gives you a compliment and you kind of like shrug it off and don't believe them, or you think like it's just, they're just saying it. It's almost like, imagine if somebody went and chose you a gift and they passed you the gift and you went, oh, whatever, I bet you give gifts to everyone, or I bet you don't mean it. It's almost like you're like chucking the gift back in the face. And I was like, oh my goodness, so you're right. And so what I realized in that moment was that actually accepting a compliment is because if someone's giving you a compliment, then it's really rude to A, not accept it. But 2 is that actually, why would someone go out of their way to compliment you if they didn't really mean it? And the true factor is that the reason why we don't accept it is because we've become so used to kind of like thinking almost so little of ourselves that we tend to bat it back. And it's just 2 things. 1, it's not cool because it's like you're saying you don't believe me, or it's almost rude. But 2, for you, it's like if someone's been kind to you, you should open your heart and accept it in and allow yourself to feel that fuzzy feeling because you deserve it. And you know what? You are amazing. And if someone's giving you a compliment, then you just should actually honor that compliment and feel how wonderful that feels to actually acknowledge it. We spend so much of our lives trying to pinpoint all the things that's wrong with us, all things that are not perfect. You know, we haven't got the right size bum, or perhaps we've got enough money in the bank, or the right relationship, or whatever it may be. And actually what we need to do for our self-worth, we have to start shifting and refocus ourselves onto things that make us feel good. So from now on, you need to accept these compliments, okay? Deal. And when you do, it'll become easier, I promise. The first few times are a bit weird, I'm not going to lie, but then it becomes so much easier. And all you got to do is keep saying thank you. That's it. And number 5 is value yourself unconditionally. So I was having a chat with a friend actually earlier today about unconditional love, and it's just an interesting topic because I think that it's so misunderstood. Unconditional love is accepting things no matter what is being presented, good, bad, or indifferent. And it's about trying not to smother it or grab it and keep hold of it like you own it. It's about being fluid with things. And unconditionally accepting yourself is no different. It's about really accepting your good, bad, and indifferent parts. And I guess there is no bad really. It's more a work in progress. It's what I like to call it. And you know what? The other thing that I was talking with somebody a few weeks ago is about how like the imperfections of a human are just so beautiful. And that's what makes everyone such a unique blueprint. And your imperfections just need loving, because your imperfections actually could potentially be the things that make you be the person that stands out from the rest of the crowd. And that's great. Own it, grab it, and be it. Because imperfection is actually a stunning quality to have. And if there's things that you're wanting to work on, then that is brilliant and that's fine. That's okay. Carry on doing it. But start to love you exactly how you are. And when you do that, you will organically shift your vibration into a state of self-love. Now, somebody with self-worth is always in alignment with loving themselves. I have never met somebody who has got great self-worth who doesn't like themselves. They go hand in hand. And so how you begin to align your self-worth is by loving you. And it starts by just getting up each morning and spending 60 seconds on finding all the things about you that you can be grateful for. And it might just start off with the small things like, I'm so grateful that my digestive system knows how to work. I'm so grateful that I went to sleep last night for 7 hours and I'm still alive because the blood around my body just pumped on its own and my subconscious mind was busy making sure that everything was working, that I was breathing correctly, and etc., etc. There is so much to be grateful about who you are, but the more that you align your focus onto that, it shifts your vibration and increases your self-worth from the inside out. So, to recap very quickly, to align yourself back from self-doubt to self-worth, you simply have to put your focus on positive affirmations. So choose something in the present moment and keep your focus there. Number 2 is you're going to acknowledge the things about you that are great. You are going to celebrate the small wins. Number 3. Number 4, you're going to start accepting compliments. And number 5, you are going to unconditionally love yourself from the inside out by starting to refocus every morning for 60 seconds on the things that you love about who you are. That can be physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever, but you just start focusing there and things will start to shift. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's little mini mind detox. I will be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. But before I dash off, for those of you that are listening, if you go to my website, which is www.kirstybortoff.co.uk, I have got a brand new free masterclass on overcoming stress and anxiety. Just whiz on there and you can have access to it completely free of charge. Don't forget to share this, and it's been amazing. And I'll be back tomorrow at 5. Have an amazing evening. Remember, be kind to yourself, be good to yourself. I'll be back tomorrow where I can't remember what I'm talking about, but it will be something very, very exciting. So I shall catch up with you then. Have a great evening. Bye.